Welcome to this episode of In Chambers with Mohammed Muigai. My name is Caroline Kaunda, an associate in the Dispute Resolution Practice Group, and I'll be your host today. And joining me is Gabriel Mwangi, known fondly to his colleagues and friends as Gibe. He is a partner in the Dispute Resolution Practice Group, and I had the distinct honor of having him as my pupil master. Karibu sana, Gabriel.
Thank you very much.
And just to kickstart this conversation, where did you grow up and what was your childhood like?
I grew up in South Sea Estate in Nairobi. Basically, I spent my entire childhood there. A very happy childhood, I could put it that way. Privileged as well. Because I would say I had, even though my parents were not wealthy as such, we lived a good middle class life in a vibrant hood, so to speak. What I would say, why I would also say I was privileged, is I was happy to enjoy good support and the love and example of my parents. So it was, I could say it was a happy childhood.
How many siblings do you have?
I come from a large family. We are 8 children.
Oh, wow.
2 parents, to be very clear. So we have 5 boys and 3 girls in the hierarchy, so to speak. The 6th of the 8. But also, we are happy that I also have in-laws who've joined us. 3 of them. So the family has expanded, including the children. In fact, now I think if we were to put all of us together, we can have a proper football team with substitutes.
That is great. And so being placed as the 6th person in a large family, do you think there's any way in which that influenced your personality and who you are?
I'm not sure about that. Although being the 6th child, I would say my parents were now in the second half of raising a family.
They'd had practice.
Exactly. They'd had practice because my siblings, starting from the firstborn, is slightly older than I am. So it was a lot of hand-me-downs, also a lot of learning as well from my older siblings. But I wouldn't say specifically whether it influenced my personality. Though growing up, I was much closer to my younger sister, and I'm told that being a shy child, she was the one who would take me out and make me. She taught me how to talk, according to my parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
She took you under her wings.
More or less.
And just as we continue to speak about your childhood, how was your relationship with your mzee?
So my mzee was very much a part of my life. And why I mentioned also I had a privileged kind of childhood is that he was very involved in my progress in school. Many times we would sit and have chats about different things. I remember distinctly at some point he sought to introduce me to things like philosophy, because I think that's my intuition. I think he had a good idea about our different personalities in the family. So he might have tailored our bringing to each of us individually. Okay. And maybe he had noticed that I liked things of the mind and stuff like that. So I think he introduced me to philosophy because of that. So it was a good relationship to date.
Would you say you were a good son? Especially back then, growing in South Sea, the hub of music and art, Nairobi.
I think I'd have to ask my parents
whether
I was a good son. Although I think I was, if I'm to be honest. I was more or less living my life on the straight and narrow. I think I went to a fairly good school.
Okay.
That's Strathmore School.
All right.
So mostly, I think I was okay. I was not a troublemaker, but I did have my moments of a lot of mischief, especially as I was finishing primary school and getting into high school. It's said that in our class in high school, the class of 2004, we are amongst the more notorious ones that the school had ever come across. So trouble was not too far away.
Okay.
But more or less we maneuvered and got to where we got to.
And speaking about your high school and formative years, you are quite the creative, and talented in arts and all. Can you tell us a bit about the hobbies you explored in that space?
So yes, you're right. I think I have an artistic sensibility. So in high school, I was a bit involved in performance arts.
Okay.
So it was drama, it was music. I was also part of the Strathmore choir then, which we actually went quite far to the nationals, and I think we're the first class to have ever done it. So even at that time, I enjoyed languages and writing. So I was also quite good in literature and composition. So all those things, I think, make up a part of who I am fundamentally. And I explored that quite a bit when I was in high school and shortly thereafter, before I joined the campus. Because at that time, because I was admitted to the regular program, Gibe then used to have an almost 2-year gap. So during that time, I joined the Alliance Française just to finish my French. But while there, I was also exposed quite a lot now to the performance arts. And I was very privileged that during those 2 years, I got to even go on stage in theater, travel the country, do musicals. So it was a good time in my life.
Great. And you've also authored a book. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes. In my name, I have authored 2 books.
Oh.
One, and both of them are in French, storybooks. One of them is a novel about a child from Turkana who escapes FGM to come to Nairobi and tries to make a life for herself. So that one, I wrote it when I was in campus. The second book, which was published as well, also a French book, I co-authored with a friend of mine, which was more or less a collection of short stories from Kenya, which we now translated into French.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, and just moving a bit from your high school and campus, why law? Did you always want to be a lawyer?
Curiously enough, no.
Okay.
I had not always wanted to be a lawyer. My childhood dream was to be a doctor, a medical doctor, specifically a neurosurgeon. And I think, my mom is a retired nurse, so I'm not sure if I got that from her. But beyond that, it had always occurred to me that I was going to go into the medical profession. And I think part of that is informed by my fascination with the human mind and the brain.
Okay.
So maybe that's what I was looking to explore at that time until I got to Form 3, when we were deciding courses which were going to be examined on in Form 4. And since I'd taken biology from Form 1 to Form 3, at that time I started really thinking about whether I want to be a doctor. And a good friend of mine, actually my best friend, his elder brother at that time was studying medicine. So I think I was just observing and trying to find out how he was doing. And I thought to myself, based on my personality, which is fairly introverted, I thought it might be better if I pursue a career where I'm a bit more, I'm dealing with people a bit more.
Okay.
Then secondly, I was good in languages, I was good in debating. So law came naturally to me, and that became now my first choice.
That's quite an interesting journey. And you've been at Mohammed Muigai for quite a while. Could you tell us a bit about when you joined and how it's been through the years?
So as at last month, I've been here for 14 years.
Oh,
It feels like a long time, but it also feels like a very short time.
How is that?
I joined right after campus in September 2010. What had happened is that when we had just finished our fourth year classes and while we were waiting for graduation, Mohammed Muigai approached the University of Nairobi and asked for the dean's list at that time. So, and I was among the students there. So we were called for an interview here, which I did. And very daunting interview. I remember it well because it was a whole panel of very senior advocates. But anyway, so I joined in September 2010 as an intern. Then as I joined the Kenya School of Law in January the following year, I continued to work half day and go to school for the other half. Through my Kenya School of Law, my admission, then I became an associate, rose through the ranks, and here I am. It's been an interesting journey. Mohammed Muigai, to be honest, has shaped me as a professional.
Okay.
I've basically learned how to be an advocate and how to be a good one, hopefully, from the team here.
Who was your pupil master?
That's a tricky one.
Okay.
Because if I remember correctly, formally, the person who signed my pupilage deed was Mohammed Muigai, senior counsel. At that time, he was the senior most advocate in the office. Prof had just left and become Attorney General. So I remember, I think it was Mohammed who signed my paperwork. But I was happy to have learned from everyone at that time. So there are different aspects and different skills I picked up from the different advocates at that time, from the top to the bottom. Because I found the likes of Imende here, who is now currently the managing partner. Gut also was an influence on me, Wetangula, Haseke, all these guys taught me a few things here and there. And it's something I also tell the pupils now. Try to learn as much as possible from everyone because we all have different things to offer.
Great. And talking about pupils, for quite a while now, you've been in charge of, or you've been the one stewarding the committee that is in charge of pupilage. How has that experience been like, especially interacting with younger people?
Makes me feel old.
Okay.
But beyond that, I would say it's been eye-opening for me to get to interact with the younger generation of lawyers.
Yes.
I've been leading the pupilage program for about 6 years now, from the time when I was a senior associate. So I've got to see the evolution of the pupils, or legal assistants as we call them, over the years. And over time, what I've come to find is that they are a bit more conscientious, a bit more outspoken about different things. But at the same time, and this is something I've also heard from other colleagues in the profession, I've noticed a certain kind of insecurity as well on their part.
Okay.
And just to deal with difficulties, which this profession, of course, brings up. So part of my job is not only to look for the talent that we bring in, but also to see how to nurture that talent once they are here. And it's a responsibility that, as Mohammed calls it, part of it is almost a parental one, to try and hold them and tell them this is how the profession works. And, things can be difficult, but I mean, it's part of the job. So it has been an enlightening experience. I learn from them as well, as much as we learn from each other, and I truly enjoy that privilege.
Okay, interesting. And what is the one thing from your interaction with them, especially since right now you're dealing with the so-called Gen Z generation? What is the one thing from those interactions that gives you hope for this profession?
Okay. I would think that what they are very good at is to call out accountability. And I think that's something that we need in this profession. There are many things which happen behind the scenes, and sometimes, most recently, they've been coming up online. There are things which happen in the profession which should not be happening. And I think the younger lawyers, the Gen Z lawyers now, who are coming up and asking for accountability, not just in the civic space, but also in the profession. I think that's a good thing.
Okay.
For us as the seniors, it's time we also considered ourselves responsible for different things, rather than shielding a lot of things that shouldn't be happening behind the cloak of seniority and all that.
Okay. And when did you make partner?
I made partner in November of 2021. It's actually coming to 3 years now.
Yes.
That
Time moves really fast.
Time moves so fast.
Yeah.
At that time, I made partner together with a colleague of mine who's now heading the banking, finance, and real estate group. That's Naomi. So it was also a very happy occasion at that time to be told that the firm now trusts you with this responsibility of being a partner.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and alongside that, trusting you to become a partner and to steward the firm towards its objectives, you've also had a very crucial department in the firm, the business development department. Can you tell us a bit about that and what the work involves?
So that's true. Part of the hats that I wear is coordinating and leading our business development efforts. The way I look at it, the profession now has become a bit more competitive than it was before. So, and clients are a bit more discerning about who are the good lawyers and who are not. So while as a firm, we've built a legacy since our establishment in 1988, and we had built a very good reputation, courtesy of our senior partners and the people who've been part of this team. But it got to a point where it was felt that now we need to move to the next level and be a bit more deliberate about our initiatives. So that initially was how it came up was last year. Yes, I believe it was last year. We thought of putting together an event to partner with a particular client. So convinced the team and our seniors on this side initially to try out getting an intern to do that project or that BD project. So once we got a feel that it's good to have someone dedicated to this work, once we got that feeling, we now became more deliberate about recruiting someone specifically for that, which we did. And I'm happy that part of my team is a good lady called Winnie Owade, with whom we work very well together.
All right. Karibu sana, Winnie. Thank you for joining us. And to begin, who is Winnie and what makes her tick?
My name is Winnie Patience Owade. I know most people call me Winnie, others call me Patience. I'm just trying to make it clear. So Winnie is a lawyer by training.
Okay.
Yeah, but business development professional by design.
What does business development entail?
So business development is all about strategizing to ensure that the firm aligns with its goals.
Okay.
Client retention, client acquisition, and just marketing the firm and putting it out there, as well as the advocates in the firm. So basically, that's what we do.
So your role is to view the law as a business and to drive the work that we do towards that direction.
Exactly.
So why not practice as an advocate? Why business development?
Business development actually came as it's something that I actually acquired. It's not something that I had planned to do.
Okay.
So in my second year, I decided to do internship in a law firm. And at that time, my boss at that time wanted someone who would help him with doing proposals and bids. And that's how I came in.
Okay.
Because he realized that I'm someone who's good at it. So he trained me on that. Then later on, I came to learn that it's just not about doing bids and proposals. There's a lot to it. So came in the issue of strategizing to retain clients, to acquire more clients, building client relationships.
Okay.
And I figured out that that is something I really actually loved.
Okay.
And the fact that there's an artistic bit to it where you're even able to do pitches and you don't have to go the normal way of just preparing papers. You can play around with images to make your bids interesting. That's what I realized. Then I realized I really love this bit of law where we can integrate law and the creative side of me and come up with something that can be of profit to the firm.
So are there any skills that you acquired through your legal training that have proved useful and transferable to what you do as a business development officer?
Yes, sure. Analytical thinking is very important, especially in proposals. You get to understand what the client wants, what aspect of law is required from you, how do you put these things together to be able to take care of the client's needs.
Okay.
So, yeah, analytical thinking is very important when you're doing all this BD work, strategies, putting together a proposal, a bid, a pitch.
Okay, so in essence, you're a strategic consultant within the firm.
Yes.
To drive the firm business.
Yes.
And what would you tell someone who is now studying to be a lawyer, but is interested in the kind of work that you do? Where do you get training from? Is there a course?
Unfortunately, there is no course.
Okay.
It's a learning process. You learn from whatever avenues. First of all, as a lawyer, I think the business bit comes in instinctively. The market is very competitive at the moment. And as Gabe had previously put it, you realize that now firms have decided to get out of their comfort zone and start looking for the work competitively. We have so many law firms that are coming up and people are very good at what they do. So what gives you that edge?
Okay.
So you have to start thinking like a business personnel. How do I get the clients that I need? How do I get to retain them? How do I get this money? How do I place myself ahead of others?
Okay.
Yeah.
And in that role within the firm, you've worked very closely with Gabe. How has that been like?
It's an amazing relationship.
Okay.
Gabe's personality, together with mine, I think we've gotten to a point where we understand each other very well. He's cool, calm, collected. I'm the kind of person who can panic at times.
Okay.
But with him around, I know I have someone who can support and direct me towards the right direction for us to achieve whatever goal it is that we intend to achieve. So it's a very good relationship. I am able to walk into his office at any given time, discuss whatever the situation is with him, and I know I'll get a solution and the support that I need for whatever project that I have in mind.
Okay, interesting. And just back to you, Gabriel, talking about that role of business development. And from what Winnie has said, clearly it's a very distinct practice from what we normally do as advocates. How has that experience been? And what is it that you've had to do to stop thinking as an advocate and think as a business developer? How has that been like?
It's been a learning experience, to be clear. As Winnie mentioned, I don't know at least of a course in Kenya where you get to learn some of these skills. In fact, the closest I came to doing a business development, at least on the sales side, is again when I just finished high school.
Okay.
And I was looking for something to do. I came across with a friend of mine a job advert in the classifieds. When those anonymous adverts, they're asking for young people to attend an interview. And it turned out to be a sales job, actually. And it was a sales job of actually walking around the streets of Nairobi with merchandise and trying to sell to people. So I think after a very brief stint in that, I bracketed that. I said, that's not for me. But that's how life is interesting. That I found myself getting back to thinking about marketing and things like that, which you're right, is a bit different from what I do in terms of handling my files and going to court. I'd have to shift my mentality to think more like a businessman and see what is it that clients look for and how can we package our services so that they come to us. And fortunately, at least in the farm, there's a lot of support from the very top, just to teach and to show us how to do it, how they've done it before, and how we can improve.
Okay, interesting. And Winnie, as we close this conversation on the business development aspect, you are one of the newer members of the farm. How has that integration been like, and what has been your experience?
Interesting enough, when I got here, I had all sorts of ideas. You're new, it's a big law firm. You have quite a number of people to know, even get to know their names. But I think within a month, I had made friends, I had clicked, and I was able to interact with almost everyone in the farm. They were very welcoming and supportive. So it was an easy transition, not what I had expected, but I was lucky enough to get to gel with people almost immediately.
When did you join the farm?
I joined the farm in August 2023.
Okay. It's been a while now.
Yeah, I actually just marked a year a few days ago.
Okay. Thank you, Winnie. And as we wind up, Gabriel, I'd like us to backtrack a bit and talk about some of the mentors who have been very key to your growth as an advocate. Are there any people that come to mind?
I've not had formal mentors, if I can put it that way, someone with whom I have a particular arrangement, a mentorship arrangement. But I would say that over the years, from the time that I was in campus, I've interacted with people who have inspired me. Starting from campus, I was happy to be introduced to the then Dean of Strathmore Law School, Professor Franceschi. So it's my dad who introduced me to him. And just interacting with him, I think really shaped who I am today, to see that you can put a lot of effort into your work and see your work as a fulfilling venture. So learning from him and his example. Then thereafter, when I now got into the profession, seeing the people here at Mohammed Muigai also inspired me. Because, as I mentioned earlier, I got to learn different things from different people. So as an example, from Mohammed, senior counsel, I got to see how, in spite of one's seniority, you actually gain the respect of the court and of your colleagues when you're not flaunting it. Because you get to see how much he's trusted by his clients. And I think that's part of it, how to relate with each other. Then also from the rest of the team, from seeing Imende, how meticulous he is with his details and his work, getting to see someone like Guto, who's very good in the big picture arguments, very good with the English language. So over the years, I've picked up a few things here and there. So although it's not been a formal mentorship as such, it's been a mentorship by observation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're currently doing a master's, but not an LLM. Could you tell us a bit about that and why that specific area?
Yes. I'm currently doing a master's in applied philosophy and ethics. And I'm doing it at Strathmore University. Why I decided to go that way, I think, is it spoke to me and my disposition. I think I'm of a contemplative disposition. So, and I try to understand the world that I'm living in. So at that time, when I was enrolling for the masters, to be honest, my dad had kept asking me about it and suggesting that I do it because he knew about it. So in 2020, January, I enrolled in the course, and it has been amazing because while I'd been doing some small reading here and there, just on my own, doing it in a structured way under very knowledgeable lecturers really just opened my perspectives and changed my viewpoint on life. So it's a master's which I did, I think, not really for professional development, but for personal development, although I see myself progressing it professionally.
Okay. And just to talk about Gabriel in his personal space, you've recently had a very important milestone in your life, a very important relationship. Could you tell us a bit about that chapter in your life?
Yes.
If you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Okay.
So yes, you're right. In a few months, it will be 2 years since I married.
Congratulations.
A beautiful wife, Agnes, who's a lawyer as well. So yes, we got married in February last year, and it's been an exciting journey to be a husband now. So the responsibilities that comes with, but also God willing, in a few months' time as well, I should be a father.
Oh, wow.
So it's an exciting time of my life.
Yes.
Completely different from what was there before. But I'm happy that I have someone good and by my side to walk this journey of life.
And how has that relationship, or being a husband, how has it now changed your outlook in life, if at all?
It's made me, I think, more focused. It's normally said that for men, we need to settle down to make our priorities a bit more aligned. So I think knowing that I'm responsible for someone and I'm responsible for a family has really changed my outlook. While previously I was a lone ranger, doing my own thing. Now I have to
answering to no one.
Exactly. Now I have to be a bit more deliberate about my decisions.
Okay.
So that, I think, is what has changed. Although professionally it's still the same old of working on files, working on the farm and all that. But on the personal side of things, it has been life-changing, to be honest. Different challenges, of course, but rewarding all the same.
Congratulations, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
And still talking about relationships, I want us to backtrack a bit. You had earlier mentioned a best friend, and he's been in your life for quite a bit. Can you tell us a bit about that and how that relationship has evolved over the years?
Yes. So my best friend is called Luke. We've been friends since 1998.
Wow. Wow.
It's 26 years now.
Yeah.
Actually, older than some of our pupils here. But yes, we met in primary school. He joined Strathmore in class 6. And we were also in the same high school. And we've maintained our friendship all these years to the point he was also my best man. And I was his best man because he got married before me. So it has been an interesting journey of just supporting each other. I appreciate it's not easy to maintain friendships for that long. But I'm happy that I've maintained that friendship with him. And also, to be honest, also in my circle of friends, my really close friends are people who I've known for decades. So as a man, I think it's important to have those kinds of friendships.
Yes.
Just to keep you in check and keep you accountable. And people you can talk to when things are not going too well. In fact, I remember very recently, one of those friends shared a clip on our group about friendship itself. It was an interview between, I don't know if you've watched it, between Trevor Noah and Simon Sinek. And the point was that while there's so much material about how to be a good father, how to be a good husband, how to be a good lawyer, whatever it is, but how to be a good friend is not, it's not something that we've paid too much attention to. And that really got me thinking. Yes.
I thank you for sharing that. And knowing what you know today, having gone through the relationships and the evolution to who Gabriel is today, what would you tell younger Gabe, especially the one thing that you thought would matter most but doesn't?
I would tell younger Gabe to relax.
Okay.
I would tell him that life is interesting. Life's vicissitudes are an interesting part of it. I think when I was younger, I was much more concerned about how are things going to play out in my life, in different aspects, in relationships, in school, and all that. But as I've grown older, I've come to appreciate that things seem to work out. You do your part and things just work out. So don't be too worried about the future and all that. Things will be okay.
Okay. So how do you unwind? You're quite the busy man. You wear many hats. How do you unwind after a busy day?
Twice a week I play football with the farm. On Mondays and Wednesdays we play ball at Kilimani. I've also recently started going to the gym.
Is that working out?
So far, so good. My trainer, David, who's also one of the partners here, really pushes me, and I enjoy that. So that's what I do to unwind. But beyond that, I also really enjoy reading. So I'll pull up a book and just occupy my mind with whatever information is being shared in that book. I also love, because I was in theater as well, I take the opportunity when it comes to go watch a play, watch an orchestral performance. So those are the things I really enjoy doing.
Okay. And what's in your bucket list?
There are many. There are many things that are there. But maybe I can mention 2 or 3. One, I've always wanted to skydive. Having experienced bungee jumping, I thought that was a nice adrenaline rush. So I'd like to now do skydiving. But
you're about to become a father. You can't be doing dangerous things.
I know many fathers who've done it.
Okay.
And they're okay.
Fair enough.
Then there's also, although it's more of an intellectual project that I want to embark on. For the next 10 years, I would want to go through the history of Western thought. There's a book set called the Great Books of the Western World, which just traces important writings throughout the West. Throughout the West. But I would want to do that at the same time as just juxtaposing that with the history of Africa, how we've been developing over all these years. And for that, I got a book set also by UNESCO called The General History of Africa. So it's 8 volumes which try to trace the history of Africa by African authors.
Okay.
So just for me to see how is it that we were progressing, even as the West was progressing with its own ideas. So I think that's the second item on my bucket list.
Okay.
And I think beyond that, I would want to do also a pilgrimage to the Holy Land.
Okay.
But with what is happening in the Middle East, I don't know if that will be possible anytime soon.
Why the Holy Land?
Part of my fascination has been also with my faith.
Okay.
So quite recently, I started taking it a bit more seriously. And I think I would want to just go and see the sites that I've read about, that I've been taught about, where God is said to have walked the earth. So just to see how those places are. I think for me is just a curiosity I'd want to explore.
Okay. So thank you very much, Gabriel. And now as we finalize, is there like one specific advice that your mzee gave you that has served you through the years and that you'd like to share with our listeners?
My mzee is a wise man. He's given me a lot of advice over the years. But I think the one that really pushed me and got me to where I am today is his insistence that I pursue philosophy. That for me has opened my mind. It has changed who I am today. I see things in the world and I can pick out what is the driving philosophy behind certain viewpoints. And I think it's helped me to navigate the world a bit better. So, I mean, I don't think it's for everyone, but I would suggest that people just take an interest in trying to explore philosophy. To be honest, at the master's level, how Strathmore designed it it was an introduction to philosophy. But that stirred an interest in me that I've kept going till now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. I wish you all the very best in your endeavors. And thank you very much, Winnie, for joining us today. And to our listeners, that is the end of today's episode.